this week's project, so it's not a stitch of the week, this week's project is a Christmas wreath. So I'm going to say it's a mini Christmas wreath, but it's not super tiny. You can see I've got quite big hands, so it's not super tiny, probably coming up for about 5.5, 6 inches. I do not have a tape measure handy just to double check, but probably, oh hang on, she tells a lie. Oh, these are in centimetres. Oh, well, the inside of this is a 4-inch, so it's a lot smaller. What does that tell you? So that's about just over 4 inches. Although if we add the hanger, then a bit more. Now, to start this wreath off, I am today using a double knit. So I'm using a silver glitter and a red glitter double knit, both by Yarn Smith's Create. So those are the colours that I'm using together today. And it doesn't matter which colours you use, it doesn't matter which thickness of yarn that you use or which weight of yarn that you use, but for my purposes today I'm using double knit and a 4mm hook, but if you're using a Aran or a chunky, then you would just use an appropriate hook that goes with it. Now, the pattern that I've written for this tells you to use 48 chains, and it gives a fairly decent size wreath, but if you want to make it bigger or smaller, then you can add or remove chains. Just to save you from the tedious task of watching me chain, I have already done them, and what we're going to do is we're going to go into, so 1, 2, 3, we're going into the 4th chain from the hook, and we are going to make a US double, which is the same as a US treble. So I'll talk you through making it, and I will call it a double crochet from now on, but it's the same as a US treble. And in that 4th chain, we're going to place 2 of them. So the chain 3, which is what we've left here, is going to be worth 1 double crochet. So let me just show you. I said I'd talk you through and then didn't. So we're yarning over, we're going into that chain, we're drawing a loop up, we've got 3 loops on the hook, we're yarning over, we're pulling through 2 and pulling through 2, and in that same space I'm going to put another one. So again, pull through 2 and pull through 2. Now in the next space I'm going to make 3, so effectively I've done 3 because I had a chain 3 as well. So 1, 2 and 3. Now it really is as simple as that all the way along. We're going to make 3 stitches. So 1, 2 and 3. Now you can start to see now that I'm just going to pull some more yarn out. But you can start to see mine is already starting to curl. This is exactly what you want. So I'll do a few more with you so you can see the curl in action, and then I will complete this off screen because you are going to be making 3 stitches in each chain, and it really is as simple as that. So this is not a difficult project. So 3 in that one, I'll do 3 in the next. If anything, it's just a little bit of time, but it's one of those easy projects you could do watching the telly. Listen to a bit of music. I like to listen to audiobooks. Okay, so hopefully you can see that starting to curl right up. So I will finish this off screen, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Now here we are, and I have a silver one I've already made and a red one that I've just made. And what we're going to do now is we're going to make sure that these are all twisted the right way. And you can see the bulk of this silver one is, let me move the red one out of the way. I have tied the 2 tails together just for now, and I think I'll start at this end, and all I'm doing is I'm just going to twist it to make sure that everything is all following the same path and twisting up properly, and then we'll start looking at putting the 2 together. So I'm going to twist these 2 together. I suppose I could probably do the 2 things together now and untwist them as I'm twisting them, but I feel like one job at once is probably for the best. So hopefully you can see those are all going in the right sort of way. Do the same with the red. So again, those ends are twisted together, and there we go. Now we're going to put these two together, and I'll just lift it up slightly. It's actually easier than it looks. It's just trying to make the curls even as you're going along, which again will make more sense as you're doing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the silver over the top of the red like so, and then we start to just twist the two together like this. But what you're trying to do is you're trying to make sure that this twist is even, which that one isn't. I think I might have to do it red on top of silver actually on there. Yeah, so the red's gone on top of the silver. I've twisted that back under. There we go. So I'm going round, and what I'm wanting to be even is these sections as much as possible, that these sections are as equal as possible. There we go. So can you see what I mean about even? You're wanting them to be as even as you can get them. It's not a fine science. Have quite a lot more of the silver than the red. I just need to tighten that up a little bit on the red. Okay. Yeah, that seems to have helped. You see, all I did was pull it. I just pulled on the red a little bit. So now we've got that bit done, and the idea now is to join these two bits, and this is where it can get a little bit messy. And I know that I had a comment from a friend who was making one, and she'd sort of said it was a little bit of a messy process. It doesn't look particularly tidy. So I'm just going to take the longest tail of the red, and I'm going to use that. And first thing I'm going to do is try and work this so that it almost looks like it's carrying on the curl, which is not necessarily, but it probably would be easier if I sewed the other. What I'll do, I'll sew the other ends in, I'll come back and just have my long silver and my long red, and I'll explain why I'm keeping the silver long one as well. Okay, so I'm back now. I've got rid of two of the ends, and just have the red and the silver one left. So I am going to catch the very back of this silver one, just so it doesn't show really. So it's not on that side. And I'm coming over here, and I'm going to think about how I'm going to gather those together. So I think if I do that, that looks not too bad. And I'm going to go right through, and I am going right through like that and pushing, gone right through like that, and I'm pushing back all the way through all 4 layers. I'm going to do that again. I'm going to come back up here, and again I'm going to push through all 4 layers, go back, and I think I'll do it one more time. Back now. So at this point, this is what I have. Now I put a little bow on here. You might just want to fiddle about with it. So the reason you've got these 2 long ones is you can decide then which one you want as your hanger. So you could, I suppose, twist these in some way, or you could, if you can manage to do it and leave one threaded on, you could do it as a chain, but you could twist it like so, then bring it down and sew the ends in so you have a twisted chain. Actually quite pretty, doesn't it? I think I might have enough to be able to do that. I'll take that red back through to where the silver is, because the silver's at the back and it's in probably a better position. Let's see if this works. I'll take it through to here. I'm going to twist these two together. I'm twisting it like that. My only thing is, when you let go, it's going to twist up, isn't it? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use the silver one as initially intended. I thought that might be a good idea. Now, to create the hanger, using the silver, I'm going to move that to one side. I'm going to come back down into the top, and I'm going to decide how long I want that hanger to be. So I think that's probably a good amount, what, 2.5, 3 inches. And then I'm going to catch to make sure it doesn't come any tighter as I'm sewing in. So that's that. So what I'll do now is I'll sew my ends in, and then I'll come and show you what it looks like when it's finished. So here we go. This is all finished. I'll just put that needle down. As you can see, it is still, for me, a little bit untidy there, which is one of the reasons why I would put a bow or something there. No, I mean, not massively untidy. I think still it's very pretty. But that is a video on how to do it. I think it was probably the more joining it together and creating the curl to bind the two together, that was the hardest thing that I'm finding people are having with this. But there we have our beautiful Christmas wreath.